My name is Bjarne. I'm the captain on board the Seabourn Quest. Very lucky to be in command on a ship going to Antarctica. Presently we are on the bridge where we are facing the beauty of Antarctica and making all the decisions in terms of navigating the ship safely between the ice. It can be sometimes looking like a minefield, but just to reduce the speed and take it nice and slowly. Everything we're doing down here could not be done without my fantastic crew. I'd like to thank the expedition team, the hotel, the engine and the deck crew for doing a tremendous job. This is not cruising in Caribbean or Mediterranean. In those places you normally know what you can expect the next day. Down here nobody knows what is coming up within the next hour or definitely not the next day. And for the crew, they always have to go the extra mile to make these cruises a success. So they're doing a tremendous job.
Today we're on a small island in Mikkelsen Harbour, and next to us we've got this big pile of whale bones. Now they're from the whaling industry when the whales were butchered on this beach and dragged up here, so they would just strip the blubber off them and leave the carcass here to rot. Now we can date these bones because we know that the factory ships came down here about 1920-ish. And the whales were processed on the factory ship. So these whales' bones are from before then, but the steamships weren't coming down here before about 1890. So they're around about 1890 to about 1920. So we've probably got maybe 100 or so different whales here, a whole mixture of bones all mixed up. And the boat in the background there, that boat was for fresh water for the whaling fleet. The factory ships would maybe have 50 or 100 men on board, all needing fresh water. The steam plants all needed fresh water. So the companies would drop these water boats in different places so that they could gather fresh water for the ship.
Well, welcome everybody to Paradise Bay, a beautiful day here on the continent of Antarctica. We're here at González Videla, the Chilean station, which is home to about 2,000 Gentoo penguins. We've got Gentoo penguins nesting on the ground, very close to where we can walk by them without disturbing them at all. They're well into their breeding season. They're about 3.5 weeks into the egg incubation. Both males and females are incubating at this time. And when they come up to replace the mate, they will bring a pebble or two, do a little nest maintenance, and then go out for 1 or 2 days and feed themselves. So the honking and the sky pointing and the flipper flapping, and it's all to call a mate in from the water to come up here and help them with the incubation and nesting duties.
first seal harvest began in South Georgia in the early 1800s, and in a few short years, they were hunted to almost extinction. Now they've recovered to the point where there are over 3 million seals in South Georgia, and the population is growing. So here in Stromness, 15 to 20 years ago, there were no fur seals. And now, as you can see, there are quite a few across the beach. Early in the season, in November, the males show up first, the big bulls. They show up and they select a territory and they'll fight each other and defend the territory against each other. A little bit later, the females show up and lay next to the males, and that male gets to breed with the females that lay next to him. And here's a harem right here. The bull is walking around the harem. There are several females that have showed up to give birth. Some of them are nursing right now. They don't have a lot of body fat, so they have to go out to sea to forage quite regularly, and they come back and nurse their pups. So while they're gone, their pups are left unattended, running around, and that's why you see so many groups of pups that seem to be by themselves.
Here we are this morning in Grytviken on South Georgia, and behind me is the grave of Sir Ernest Henry Shackleton. He died on the 5th of January 1922 aboard a ship, the Quest, in the harbour here.
My name is Iggy Rojas. I am the expedition leader on board Seabourn Quest, and I'd like to thank you very much for having joined us in this adventure. Every trip to Antarctica is exceptional, and it has been no different. This has been an absolutely stunning trip. We have done much more than any other of our previous trips around this area. And in behalf of myself, the whole expedition team, and everybody on board the ship, I'd like to thank you very much for coming, and hopefully we'll see you soon back on board the Seabourn Quest.